Yo, what's up, everybody?
Welcome to episode 90
of the Jump Street Podcast.
Very, very stoked to be here. We're at Brain Dead today.
Level 9. Congratulations. We made it to level 9.
90.
Boom.
90 episodes. Here we are at Brain Dead. Isn't this cool?
This is super cool. At the Brain Dead studio right now.
Yeah.
In the theater in the back of the store.
Yep.
This is really cool. I'm excited about this one. It just looks aesthetically. We'll show you in a second what it looks like. But
yeah,
one of the better looking settings that we have for our podcast. Big shout out to Brain Dead.
Mm-hmm.
Check them out. They sell them skates now. So check them out also. They got some skates in the shop.
Yeah, for sure. Big shout out Brain Dead. Very stoked to be doing this here. And we have a very special guest. I am super stoked to get into it. We just had a couple of podcasts in Lake Havasu, so we're going to keep an intro really short and get right into it with the WTF of the week.
We have a WTF of the week coming from New York, from the OG homie himself, Steve Cortez, with a alley top horn with, what do you call these, three-wheel rec blades?
It's like the three-wheel like 110 rec blades with no sole piece.
With no sole plates, and he's still somehow locking a topside on a down rail nonetheless. So,
yeah.
Never seen anyone hit a rail with 125s, so super cool. Big shout out to Steve Cortez, the old homie.
Yep, the homie, OG.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the East Coast Steve Cortez. There's a West Coast Steve Cortez too, isn't there?
Yeah, I think they're both OGs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's like the New York OG, the West Coast OG.
That works out perfectly.
It works out good. Cool. So please, you've heard me say this a million times. Maybe you haven't. Maybe this is your first episode, but please follow us on all of our social media platforms. Go to Facebook, give us a like. Go to Instagram, give us a follow. Go to our YouTube page, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. If you want, leave some comments, share the video. We also have an iTunes, so if you don't mind, give us a 5-star rating, give us a review. And if you want, you can be a Patreon member for as little as $1 a month. We have exclusive content on the Patreon, 3 pieces. We have inside outs, they're how-tos. And we're going to film a couple things while Austin's out here in LA. So pretty stoked about it. So check that out. And we just
put up the section commentary with Walt Austin last week too. So everyone check that out if you haven't already. If you're not part of the Patreon, join us. There's a link in the description right now. So check it out.
For sure.
And we want to give a shout out to our new Patreons this episode. Big shout out to Scott Smith, Alexander Block, Dabu Mana, and Kevin Potts. Thank you so much for your support.
We also have a sponsor for this episode.
We do have a sponsor for this episode.
They're a big sponsor. We love them, and they got a ton of stuff going on. It's Blank by Rollerblade, so check that out.
And that's Blank by Rollerblade. Everybody check him out. Give him a follow on Instagram. Link in the description below. So,
should we do it?
Should we do it?
Straight into our guest. I'm very excited to have our guest here.
I'm very ready as well.
Yes. Ben Schwab.
Ben Schwab.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Now I got the whole wide shot. You can see
we got the whole
theater. Now you can see we have your section playing on in the background too.
Yes.
So
very cool.
Very entertaining. People can watch skating and listen to the podcast at the same time.
Thank you. So I'm very stoked to be here with you guys.
Yeah, I'm pumped to have you on, man. It's been a long time.
It has. It's been a very long time.
Yeah.
And we need to catch up anyways.
For sure.
So
it's been good seeing you like around lately, like at the brunch and stuff like that coming out, and
yeah,
it's cool to catch up.
Yeah. I've been going out to the Sunday brunches whenever I can. It's been kind of like the way of reconnecting with all the bladers. I've seen people there that I haven't seen in 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
And it's been like, for me, kind of being a little bit removed from skating lately because of doing other things. It's like the perfect way to connect with people
for sure
from the community. So it's really nice. Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't know, but you're like, well, maybe some people do, but some people don't. You're like an OG. You had tricks in Brain Fear Gone, you know?
Yeah, no, that's
Soy
really cool.
Island drop rails when you were like 13.
You actually guessed the exact age. I
you
was
were 13?
I was 13.
Yeah.
Oh,
well, I know
shit.
because you told me.
The UCLA drop rail.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you were 13 then, so you must have started pretty early. I'm curious to know your beginning story of how you got into skating.
Yeah, so that was like a trip that I like filming for Brain Fear Gone was like I was on a trip with Omar and Sefi and the whole Ohio rollerblading crew, who basically got me into skating. My older brother was good friends with Omar Wysong. I'm sure you guys know him, and people, maybe some people don't know him nowadays, but he was a legend, and he was. He threw my brother and in the whole OSS crew, like John Strebel, my brother John Strebel, Mike Strebel.
So Ohio Surf and Skate,
Ohio
right?
Surf and Skate,
Okay,
OSS.
I was wondering what OSS was.
Dayton?
Dayton, yeah.
Dayton.
Okay.
I remember that from VG13.
Yeah, exactly. They came.
Yeah.
They would do tours through there when I was like 11. So so that was kind of the way. And then like Omar was already on, or at the beginning, he told us like, oh, I'm getting sponsored by this company called Mindgame, and like it wasn't out yet, and we didn't even know about it. But I was the little kid who would hang around with my older brother and his friends, and they let me hang out.
That's cool.
And that was kind of the beginning stages of getting into skating through them.
What was your older brother's name again?
John Schwab.
John, that's what it was.
Yeah, he was really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He had
So-
tricks in accidental machines.
Yeah, he did. I made him get a few clips.
Yeah, some good ones. He got some good ones.
He got some really good ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he hadn't skated for years, and like it was like we all the friends were like, you gotta just come through. Like, let's find some spots or get you some tricks in there. So yeah. But through them basically.
That's dope. Was that your first video?
Brain Fear Gone.
Like that you were in?
Yeah, I
That's
couldn't believe I
crazy.
was in it. I was like obviously stoked as a
Yeah.
13-year-old kid.
Yeah.
That's an insane
So-
first video to be in. How's your first video going to be? Brain Fear Gone.
Yeah. Yeah, I was very excited. We had like a premiere at Ohio Surf and Skate, the local skate shop.
Mhm.
But it was more just like I didn't even know what that company was or what it was going to be or something. And then Omar had told us, well, I'm filming this video with Dustin Latimer, John Elliott, and Brian Shima, and I'm the other one. And we were like, okay, so it must
No
be pretty serious.
way.
Yeah.
So
Did you know you were going to be in the video? Or you didn't know
no,
until it
we
came
just
out?
tried to be in the video. We were like,
That's even better.
you
It's even
know.
more of a surprise.
yeah. But Shane was nice enough to put it was a friends of the people on the team. So
Yeah.
I technically was a friend, I
Yeah.
was, so yeah, they put me in, and it was a big deal at the time, I think.
How
Yeah.
stoked was Omar? Like when
On
he was
that.
on, like when he's saying, "Yeah, I'm going to be on a team with John, Brian, Latimer, and I'm the other guy, and Aaron, and I'm the other guy." He must have been pumped, like because your Ohio crew was like pretty tight, right? Like and
Very tight, yeah.
yeah,
He, I think he was pumped. He kind of played it cool, I thought, at the time, Like he kind of played it down or something. Or maybe he was just so well known around that area and respect. He was so much better than all of us too.
yeah.
In my mind, it was like, whoa. But it was, he was like very relaxed about it,
That's cool.
surprisingly.
Is that how he
But-
normally is?
Yeah, I think he was kind of like, I couldn't be bothered or something at that time. I don't know, but it was just more like everyone was just smoking weed all the time, and just like there was like this attitude of like, yeah, I'm fucking on the team, or
Yeah,
like like I'm not
yeah.
gonna get excited in front of my friends.
Yeah.
I'm way too cool
It
to.
was like a too cool. Kind
Yeah,
of
but I bet
attitude.
inside, I'm sure he was stoked. I
Stoked,
mean,
yeah,
That's not how I picture it. I picture like if you're on Mind Game, you're like,
yeah,
what up? We just got Mind Game. Like I mean,
Yeah.
that's what we would have probably done.
but you guys
Yeah.
are from New York.
yeah.
It's different in the Midwest.
I hear that.
You know,
You're a little more calm.
I think so. Play it down.
Yeah, I mean, you have like a really good crew. Like that crew
Yeah.
is a solid crew.
Yeah, it was like the OSS crew, and then the Philly crew, like the Kelsos at that time, were like not too far, doing like a similar type of skating, listen to like a similar type of music, but yeah, it was a very solid crew. Everyone was really good. Like if you go back and watch the OSS videos, which some of them are online, or I see like
Are they?
yes,
I didn't know that.
yeah, some are. I've been sent like some of. There's 3 of them, and it's just like my brother, John Strebel, Sefi, Omar, and I have technically my first section was like in that video.
Mhm.
I'm like 11, and I have like bleach blonde hair on the top and then dark hair on the sides. I got it because Robert Leovanos did that. You remember that back in the day?
Yeah.
He came out with some section where he had that hairstyle.
Like the frosted tips.
Yeah,
the frosted
and
top.
I was like, he was like my idol. So
Yeah.
So,
but that's
dope.
online somewhere. I think you can find it.
so Robert Leovanos was the main person you looked up to growing up skating?
He was one of them. I was really into I forget even some of the videos nowadays, but the Escondido crew was huge. Like when I was first getting into skating, it was like Louis Zamora, Eric Shrine, Robert Leovanos, that whole crew I was very inspired by, I think. So, and then Feinberg and Dustin Latimer, and all those people. Yeah.
When did it transition from you getting that clip in Brain Fear Gone to you going to get sponsored or being on that path? Like, what was the first opportunity that you had that made you want to feel like you wanted to pursue it?
The first time I got float skates or sponsored was actually I think maybe a year or two after the Solomon team came to Ohio Surf and Skate. People used to tour and do shop promotional tours back then, so we had sometimes these companies that would come, and the Solomon team came, and actually Vinnie Minton. It was Vinnie Minton, Aaron Feinberg, and some others. But the first time I got sponsored was I remember Vinnie Minton coming and skating the play rail that day at the skate park, and I, being the grommet that I was trying to and you guys know how this is. It's because you experience it later. It's you do a trick. He did a trick, and then I was I could do that too, and so I did the same trick, and then he was just skating this play rail, and I was trying to show them that I could do the same, just getting in there or something. So I ended up skating this practice rail with him, and he was very chill about it, even though I was a super grommet.
I was about to say, because that's happened to me a few times, and I hated when that happened.
I hate it too, but I have to admit,
no, but you were you said you were a grom.
I was a grom, and I was if Vinnie Minton, if I can do the same trick as him, maybe I can get sponsored.
But that's also bold. That's super respectable too. It was tough it's tough when you're the person, but that someone's doing that too. But looking on the outside, but on the outside, on the outside looking in, it's that's respectable because it's just being ambitious, right?
Exactly. And I was 12 years old, so I didn't know any difference. I was just but because I was so young, they weren't they weren't oh fuck this kid or something, and I actually ended up skating this rail with. He probably doesn't even remember this, but and he was cool about it, and I ended up skating this rail, and that night I actually got flowed by Solomon.
So it worked.
They told me, they were we'll get you on flow, and I think I got some free skates, so it kind of worked.
So you skated street with them after?
No, I think it was just the skate park. I didn't go out with them, but somehow through that and the shop owner, I got flowed my first pair of Solomons, I think,
so
or some parts. So it kind of did work. Yeah.
No, I mean it's when the people actually have done that to me, it has worked for them because afterwards I'm yo, bro, that's cool, man.
Don't tell everybody the secret. Everyone, the secret's out now. So everyone thinks they're sponsored right now.
Yeah, I know. I shouldn't be saying this, but because it's annoying. I mean, I've been on tour 10 years later. Yeah. Where I'm tired or I was hungover or just hurt or something, or
and
I'm
2 weeks in a row on tour or something.
Then some kid is one-upping me constantly, and it's.
Someone heard you were coming from a month ago, and they've been training the whole time. I'm gonna do all these tricks.
Yeah. Now I'm oh, that's kind of endearing. But at the time, sometimes you're just it's annoying.
Totally.
So.
Now it's totally when you're however many days into a skating tour, maybe 10, 14 days in, and then you're tired, maybe hurt, hungover.
The last thing you want to do.
And then you're you know what? I'll skate anyway. I'm out here. I'll tough it out. And then you start doing it. You start getting some tricks, and someone just exactly went up in you.
Well, we had that in Poland. Was it Poland when we were in
Germany?
Or Germany?
Mm-hmm.
It was that whole tour. Remember?
Yeah. You remember that right away too.
It was very
we talked about
obvious.
It was every trick you would do.
Yeah.
5 other kids from Germany would do the same trick.
Yeah.
And. Yeah,
that's frustrating though, because you're there to do something, and then people come to see you, not to one up you,
But it starts to Ben's point, it does get attention, and it does because that's what there's a lot of ambitious people in any field.
And as a kid, that's so exciting to be even skating with your favorite skater or something.
Oh, yeah,
so it's
huge.
It's just cool to see it from both perspectives or something.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah.
So then, boom, you're on Solomon. You're like, let's go.
I think I got flowed some skates, maybe one pair of skates. I wasn't like on the team or anything, but I got like my first free like thing or something, you know.
It's good for a sponsor too. So
That was good.
legit at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, they had a good team. I forget who it was. Vinny, Aaron Feinberg. Who else was on there?
Was Rob Thompson on at the time?
Rob Thompson. Yeah. Yeah.
Was it rough for your crew when Omar moved to California?
Like, for the community kind of, and just like
For like the OSS crew, like your skate crew?
like the best skaters, moved out now or something.
Yeah, like because like obviously at some point you decided to move to California. So I'm wondering if that was like part of the process of what was contributing to that.
Yeah, he was like the gateway, I guess. Like he went out to film for Brain for Gone, and so he would send us like footage while he was in California and stuff, and just like tricks that he was doing, like that. I don't know if people remember this, but one of his, it might be his ender, he 360 soles the gap to White Rail. I think in Orange County, it's a little two-stair gap to like a white down rail. He like 3 soles it. Like I remember him like sending us that and just being like really stoked and just being like, you guys. So we ended up going out there like on trips to visit him while he was filming for the video. And so I met like Shane Coburn, not Dustin, John Elliott, and some other people. So he was kind of like the transition into like California skating, because obviously West Coast skating and skating in the Midwest in Ohio is like completely different, you know. It's like a different lifestyle.
Yeah, totally.
But it's very enticing. Like when you grow up in the Midwest, all the videos are from Orange County, all the skating's happening out there. So you like want to be part of it. I think everyone wanted to like go to.
That was definitely a thing at the time. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, especially at that time. It was like Orange County. People were down. Joe Navarone, all that stuff was like down in Southern California. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's actually kind of crazy now that I think about it. You were like 13 going out on skate trips with probably just your brother without your parents, you know?
Yeah.
California is pretty far. Like I think my first trip out of the city, I might have been like 15 or 16. 13 is pretty
Out of the city, yeah.
pretty early.
Yeah, I was young. I was like the youngest one, obviously. But I think it's because I had an older brother. I had an in.
Yeah.
Like they were a lot cooler than I was, obviously, you know. But they let me kind of hang, you know. But if my brother wasn't in the crew, I don't think I would have. So he kind of got me in.
That's
you
cool.
know? Yeah.
I had that bigger brother syndrome also. My brother was like the into hanging out with a bunch of people.
And would not let you hang out or something.
I mean,
or
it just felt like kids wouldn't hang out with I was 8 or 9 when I started skating, so people wouldn't hang out with an 8 or 9-year-old at the time when you're like 13 or whatever, you know, 14, 15.
Yeah.
Like he was the plug to the crew.
Exactly. Yeah.
exactly.
For sure.
He introduced me to like Franco and stuff like that. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice to have that
For sure.
connection. I think it helped me meet people and get started in the early days, I guess, you know. But
So somewhere along the way, you're visiting California. You make a decision to leave Ohio and go to California. When was that, like 17, 18? You were pretty young.
I think I was 16 or 17, right after high school. Right after I graduated, we moved out. My brother was already there, and then I moved out to California.
Like right after high school?
Because I thought, well, like I got to go there if I'm going to pursue like a career in skating.
Yeah.
Like I can't just like keep filming in Ohio.
Yeah.
So I went there, and I ended up kind of formulating my own crew, like meeting people. When I first got there, it was like Dave Payne. I had met him because he had come through tour and stuff. So he was out in Southern California. He kind of introduced me to some people. Gonzo was skating at the time. That whole crew, and then like Lee Martin, Don Mabin, Victor. All those people, I ended up like kind of just like meeting my own group of friends or something, because people were slow, like Omar and the OSS crew were slowly like getting out of skating actually at that time. It was Omar, or like, you know, like I was kind of like just
Getting into it.
Yeah, getting into it and like finding my own friends or something, or like my own crew in Southern California. So yeah.
Yeah, so that's where like LA, you moved to LA or Santa Ana?
I moved to LA with my brother, like Culver City, and then we got a house in Irvine, which is really weird. Like me and Lee and and some other friends got like a house in just like this apartment complex in Irvine, which is really weird because Irvine's
that
a
weird?
weird.
I don't
It's
know
just a
much about
weird,
it.
like conservative, like basic place to like go. Like
Irvine's
but
a really
it was-
weird place.
It's,
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain it. It's just like kind
It's
of
just like a big
strange.
mall.
A big
Yeah,
mall?
lots of plazas.
Yeah, it's like plazas and,
And
weird.
Orange
yeah.
County
Okay.
culture is just strange. I think.
Yeah.
It can be.
It can
For
be,
me
but,
at the time.
but
Maybe just at the time
specifically
coming from the Midwest.
Irvine, you know,
Specifically Irvine
like
is
San
just like a
Clemente and these things could be different, and Santa Ana even, but Irvine is
yeah. No, Irvine's just kind of like a weird vibe.
yeah.
But we got an apartment in Irvine.
Well, UCI's there, right?
UCI's there.
Yeah.
And that was like a
Big
good
skate
spot to like get around and like
For skating.
film and
Yeah.
skating, yeah. And that's when I started filming. I think kind of like started filming for Accidental Machines, or the beginning of it.
Yeah, like so. That's a big thing to be getting on the Mindgame team, and like, did you keep the relationship with Shane going, like from when you first met him, or how did you reconnect that?
Yeah, I had known him through Omar and stuff, and so he knew I was out there and stuff. But I wasn't like on the team or anything, but I kind of was just trying to film and do something. Like I started filming for the section before, like clips that ended up in it. I started filming before I knew I was going to be on the Mindgame team. He had just seen them later. He saw like the footage and was like, "Oh."
Because you were really pushing yourself at
I
this
was
time.
really pushing myself. I wanted to make a really good section either way or something.
Yeah, I
You
heard
know,
an interesting
so.
story. I don't know who I heard it from, but I heard an interesting story about how you got a section in the video. I don't know if it was Shane said it somewhere or something like that, that you kind of showed him the clips and they couldn't deny the fact that how good they were. And he's like, I have to give this guy a section. And that's kind of how you got your foot in the door that way. Is that true?
Yeah, that's basically what happened. Like he saw the clips and was like, "Oh, let's do something." I guess so. I didn't know I was gonna like, but then I started filming more seriously. I think it wasn't the majority of it, but maybe a few tricks.
No,
that are in there.
I remember. I think which tricks it was like the Alip Soul
Alip Soul
on the like the launch Alip Soul on the playground.
Oh
thing.
yeah,
That was
yeah.
insane.
Like the Royale to Royale, because I remember seeing those early.
Those were early on,
on
yeah.
the roof. So I remember like coming over to your place and seeing like maybe like 9 or 10 tricks.
Did you come over to that apartment?
Yes. Mhm.
Yeah.
And like those were part of it. For
Yeah.
sure. And maybe like the 180 to back Royale on that down ledge too, but I'm not sure. But definitely like the Royale and the Alip Soul were like very early on.
That's crazy. You remember that?
Yeah.
Seeing that, like just the footage on the computer.
Yeah.
From that. Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how it happened, I guess.
Well, those tricks stuck out, man. Like it was like that time, like no one was, kind of doing.
Yeah.
Or people were pushing, but everyone had their own different way.
Yeah, I mean, the level of skating was so high. I feel like it was so high back then that it was like, how do you like break through or like everyone was so good, It was like Aaron Feinberg, Brian Aragon, all these people, So it was like you kind of had to just step up your game or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
You stepped it up in like a different way, kind of, I feel like, though, because you weren't specifically just doing crazy hammers like all these other people. It's kind of like what we were talking about with Walt the other day. Like,
Yeah.
you made a niche for yourself in a specific way because your skating was so unique at the time, and it's timeless also in the sense that you were doing a lot of creative stuff that really stands the test of time today because that's what direction mostly skating is going now,
Oh, the like
The
new
creativity
type of
part of
skate.
it, yeah.
Yeah, I was super inspired by like Farmer, Dustin Latimer, all those guys who were like, and John Elliott, and like people who were like pushing those boundaries, I guess, like doing hammers, and especially Feinberg. I think he would do like he had this whole like creative hammer style, like doing hammers, but like on spots and like types of creative ways that was like felt like new to me or something. Like you usually don't see those two things together at such a high level. And I think it was words. Aaron Feinberg had just had some like just really fucked up creative hammer type tricks.
No, I think a lot of that was, and I think you know this too, but like Aaron was trying to prove that he could be on because Dustin at first in the earlier things didn't want to have Aaron on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's what he told us.
He said it when he
Dustin Latimer was like, no, this kid.
No, he was like, he kind of just said, we're doing our own thing, and Aaron was like, no, I can hang, and he was like, oh well, no, kind of doing it. But so I think when Aaron
Isn't that funny?
when Aaron got on, he had
actually
to.
really funny.
It was really funny. So Aaron had to like, push extra hard to like prove he could be on, and him and Dustin would skate a lot, and Dustin was like the kind of unimpressed type. So like he would really, and Aaron, like, I think if he didn't impress you, it really bothered him too. So it was a good way to extract.
Trying to get Dustin Latimer's approval.
Yeah.
It's like
good luck. Yeah. Stuff. Well,
yeah, but that's probably why he's so good. I mean, he's just naturally talented and good, but maybe that's a big part of it too.
Mm-hmm. I think so.
Yeah.
Just a theory.
Just a theory.
But that is funny thinking of someone saying like Aaron Feinberg now. Like,
Feinberg not being good enough for Mindgame at the time. Yeah, no, it's insane. Came with the best sections ever.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. Maybe it was all like a secret plan where like Dustin was like, we want him on, and I'm gonna like act like I don't, so I could really push him out because I know his personality.
Yeah, psych out.
Maybe that was it.
Yeah.
Did you guys get any pushback like that when you went on Mindgame?
No, but I know Ben knows it's like a vote thing to get you on, and that's cool when everyone says you can be on, whether it's like Flow, M, Pro, whatever. Yeah. It's like a vote, so that's cool.
Were you two on the same time, or you were on first, Billy?
I think you were on first.
I can't remember. It was around the same time, though.
Yeah.
Because you came on just for that last video.
Yep. It was a good last one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wasn't it sad when you got the call from Shane?
Yeah. It was just starting for me. So I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He like took me out to lunch at this place called the Gypsy Den. Did you ever
it's the Gypsy Den? Really? That's where you took it?
It's in this little stupid plaza.
Yeah.
Santa Ana, right?
Well, no. There's that one, but there's one in Costa Mesa.
Oh, okay.
And it's called the Anti-Mall. It's like this little like plaza.
Yeah, the Anti-Mall.
Shane was like a regular.
It's a super healthy spot.
Yeah, I actually worked there at the time. I had a job, or like
I worked there.
Yeah,
no way.
I had a job. I got a job as a waiter there. Like while I was filming for Accidental Machines, I was waiting tables at the Gypsy Den. But anyways, I'm just remembering this now. He took me. So we went to the Gypsy Den, and he was like, just dropped it on me, or just
how'd that go down? What'd he say?
I don't remember specifically. I just remember him being like, in a roundabout, kind of super positive way, saying it's over or something.
In a positive way,
or just like he wasn't like.
He could somehow dump that news on you and kind of make you feel.
Do you remember how it happened? With you?
Yeah, Shane called me.
And just kind of was nicely.
But he said like, yeah, this is the end, but hope the best. It's been awesome work. Like he just makes you feel good about it somehow.
Yeah, and he put like a lot into that. I mean, he had been doing it for a long time, and he had his own ideas about what he was going to do next in his own life and career and stuff. So it's like, what was I going to say?
Yeah.
No, I want to make another section.
No, sir. I do not accept that.
Stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he tell you guys there was going to be like an ad in Daily Bread or whatever? Do you remember that ad? Is it Game Over?
And Game Over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you guys know that was happening?
I didn't know
that's a very unique way for a company in general to go out. Like you're done, but you're still paying the money to like advertise and let everybody know. Like that you could tell kind of the way he said it to you guys because he left the industry in a nice way to the rest of the world anyway.
Right. I do remember that now. I haven't thought about that. But it's like a very Shane way to...
I think so too.
Yeah.
Like even to like take you out to lunch or like have lunch with you to tell you is pretty respectable.
Yeah.
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 I feel like that conversation could have gone either way. Like, hey, like Ben, like I want to talk to you. Let's go out to lunch, whatever. You could be like, oh, am I like, is something big happening with Mindgame or something like that? But it was like the opposite,
Yeah.
Yeah. I still don't know to this day, the exact details of why it ended, but it's more just like business stuff that I wasn't involved in or that I didn't know anything about that him and I think Dustin had together with it. So I'm not sure, but I didn't really ask, and I'm just like, okay, next thing.
So somewhere after that, it's sad it broke all of our hearts, but you continued on, skated for Shadow. You did some traveling.
Yeah.
Been around the world. Did you end up getting a pro skate?
I did.
You did. That's right.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be
Shadow,
sure.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He also had Shadow. I forgot about this. He started Shadow.
Mm-hmm.
And even though,
so that's actually a pretty good way to go about it. He's like, hey, we're closing Mindgame, but me and you, buddy, still going.
Yeah, and most of the time when I was on Shadow, it was like he wasn't involved because Matthias had taken it over and everything. But I now I'm remembering it's like, Mindgame's ending. We're doing Shadow. that was the transition out of it. So yeah, I started skating for Shadow, and eventually years later ended up doing like a pro skate with them. But yeah,
I forgot completely that Shane did Shadow also.
I know, I forgot that too.
That's such a random thing that you would leave Mindgame, go on to Shadow. You feel like it would be like you're just like backing out of the blading industry altogether kind of thing, you know?
Yeah, but he did do that. And like Jeff was like the first rider at Jeff and Farmer. You remember the first Shadow like stuff coming out, like those edits and all that? Yeah. It was just like them two, I think.
And
Dustin. Dustin, yeah, I was about to say Dustin was.
Of course.
Dustin, yeah.
Yeah,
that and then I think after everything, he ended up selling it to Matthias, right?
Yeah. So like, yeah.
And that's when we started. And that's when we started going on tour. Because
that's when we went on tour.
I don't feel like
in Germany. All this. That was like Shane was. By that time, Shane was out of the picture. I think. Yeah. Because Shadow was owned by Matthias, who also was USD and all of that stuff. So it was kind of under the same envelope.
Yeah.
So what were your tours like together?
I mean, some of them
you
were
talked about Germany already a little bit, but
my memory is so bad about tours. But where did we go? We went to Poland. I remember being in Poland with you. Germany. I remember being in Russia with you.
Yeah, I think we did like 3 or 4 weeks, and it went to like Russia, and we were in England for a little bit, if I'm not mistaken. We went to England, and we were
Spain. I remember being in
we
Spain.
went on like the Kingdom tour.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we're on the Kingdom tour with Jeff Dalness.
Yeah.
And so we were in Spain for a little bit. Poland, Russia, and maybe Germany.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we went to Germany too.
Yeah.
Russia, I remember us getting. Do you remember getting kicked out of that spot and paying the cops off with rubles to let us skate there? It's just like random little snippets of things I remember from those
tours. I
tours.
don't remember that one.
Yeah, very corrupt.
Yeah.
I didn't know you could pay cops off in Russia. I thought that was like a South American thing.
We had rubles. We gave them some rubles to let Jeff do a trick or finish a trick or something.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
It's one of the many things that happened. Like, it's so random. I just remember little random snippets of things from tour like that. Yeah. But I remember Poland more specifically with you, like being in Poland and Spain, I think. Us being in Spain together.
We had one time in Spain. Poland. We just like had like a long night, stayed up drinking, and we had to like get up early the next day to go shoot some photos. But we just like stayed up extra late that night drinking and got up like hungover, beat to death. And like the first spot they took us to was like this, it's like a double set with a ledge on the side. But like the ledge, it goes out, it starts like maybe like shoulder high, but it goes out straight for like 3 feet before it goes down. It's like a double set, but it goes straight and then down, so you gotta like gap to it. And like
after a night of drinking,
and the floors
like a very hungover.
No, but it's not even okay. So like the floor is all like bad ground, so you can't roll up to it. And there's like 30 Polish skaters, and they have like 3 photographers. Like one of which who's like a skate photographer. 2 are like people that they hired. Like one of them's like a wedding photographer. He like doesn't.
What a bad idea.
Yeah, and I'm like hungover, beat to death, and. Just like there at this spot, and this guy's like, "Oh, so like if you," I can't do a Polish accent, so no offense. But he was just, "Oh, so like where do you want me to shoot?" Like, but he would like stand, like try to set up lights right at where you would land, like the thing from like a gap to ledge. but like we weren't even like getting ready to skate yet because like Ben was like, "Yeah, are you serious? Like this is a joke, right? This is ridiculous." And then I basically said, "Oh, well, we'd skate this, but this ground in the front is bad. We need like plywood."
Yeah.
So
they didn't understand.
5 minutes later, you just see like a crew of like 6 Polish guys. We were like in the downtown area of some city, and they're just skating by, like laughing with like 2 pieces of plywood. And we're like, oh my god, these guys
they brought the plywood.
They brought the
We're
plywood.
not gonna let you back out. Like we're gonna make you.
Exactly, because I was like, oh well, we would, but we can't. So whatever, find another
and
spot.
In your head, you were thinking like, we got to pass.
Yeah, we got to pass. We're like in the middle of some downtown, and they just come with like some fresh pieces of plywood.
Also, it was not like a mild like it was a very like serious spot.
No, it was serious.
It sounds serious.
Like, yeah.
And it's a bummer because those clips are like gone somewhere.
Well, then there was no video camera.
There was no video camera?
It was all photo cameras, I think that's what I remember. There was like...
That makes sense.
There was no... usually when you do a trick like that, you want to... Maybe get it on film.
You're on tour. You're on tour too. I
definitely want to get
No, but there was no video camera that day. There was only like photographers and then the plywood. Because I remember thinking that when we were at the top of the ledge, like, oh man, no like footage. I don't know. I'm just
No, that makes
I
sense.
remember that.
Did that somehow like spawn the idea? Was it Bang where one of the skits was like a photographer like lying
Aaron.
under the rail, and he was like, "This is my angle." Because that sounds
Oh.
kind of similar to what you guys are talking about, like putting like where you're landing and stuff, like not knowing really where to put stuff.
Oh, like that sarcastic.
Was
like,
that Bang?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
is that on Machines?
No, that's I can't remember which one, but,
But
I know
yeah,
what
you
you're
know what I'm talking about, right?
But this wasn't satire. No,
It's not funny.
No.
It was, like,
he was serious, and
it was very stressful
it was stressful, and
Yeah.
so it was this whole thing.
because
Like,
there's a lot of pressure, and everyone just
ton of
waiting.
pressure.
at
Just
the
waiting.
bottom
No,
of the
and then so they
set.
set the thing up, and then we're waiting, and he's just like, "You gotta be kidding me!" So we just go back and skate super far back, and well, I think I might have been tried it first, but then you were just like, "Are you serious? You're gonna skate?" And I was like, "Come on, man!" You're like, "All right," like and we're just like there getting each other pumped to do it,
Yeah.
and then caught a
Like
couple,
screaming.
screaming, like, you're like pushing
'Cause
each
you
other.
were like, there's like there was like no other way I can enter into this mind state unless I just like start screaming.
Yeah, no, totally.
Whenever you like,
Because I was like pissed about the whole
Yeah,
situation.
yeah,
I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?" And then just like use that to get stoked.
yeah,
to
and then
do
I
the
think
trick,
I was
yeah.
like, all right, I'll do like fuck it, let's
Yeah.
do this. But I think still to this day that was one of the craziest tricks I've done that wasn't on film or something.
Did the picture go anywhere?
I
didn't
never
really
saw it.
No way! After all that,
I didn't
I
really.
never saw it.
Yeah, I mean, we made like it was like sick.
What
for,
did
like,
you do on the
maybe-
ledge you gap to?
I like top acid and fish brand it, and you royaled it and soyaled
I
it.
soiled.
Yeah,
Soy
you
out,
soyaled
man.
it, which was like, yeah, and then
Not
like
chill.
everyone was just like, go. It was like cool for like the 30 kids there, and maybe the wedding photographer might have liked it. I don't know.
did anybody else skate with you guys? Was it not like Germany
No.
where everyone was skating?
Jeff Dalmas skated
maybe
it
Jeff,
after. Like,
And did something way better.
no, he
than
sold
us.
it.
Or he sold it.
He sold it. He sold it. But yeah, shout out Jeff Dalmas. But or like at the end when after we, because I think he like didn't have his skates or there was something going on.
Yeah,
But he
yeah.
skated it like just after we were done or something like that.
Yeah.
But
What
Yeah.
a waste.
and then like later on that night we were at a bar and some Polish kid said he made soyal and you only did fish brain. and then Ben was like, "Don't say that, man. That's not nice." And I was like, "Damn, bro. I was hungover. You're lucky I did anything." I shouldn't
I
have done
know.
that.
You should just be happy I even like
Yeah.
skated this.
Yeah. You didn't film it for anything. Come on.
Yeah.
Insane.
was
Yeah, little do
crazy.
you know that was like
That was a moment that we bonded.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah, that was a
Just
good tour.
like, yeah. But sorry, where were we?
no. I was saying that's like I don't even know what I was saying with that, but
It was just like a moment.
Yeah, it was a cool moment.
And those moments happen a lot where you're expected to skate on tour or something, or you're at a contest, you have to compete, maybe you don't want to or something. But that day, specifically just being hungover and then screaming and then...
Because we both dragged each other out of it, like
Yeah,
for the moment. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Which is like a huge part of doing tricks or skating with your friends. You like get to that level and like mind state with the encouragement of another. Like you
sure.
got this. Like I got it too. Like let's do
Yeah,
this.
it's a
push each other.
synergistic energy.
yeah, the
Yeah.
best.
That was like. So in the end, it was great.
I also
But-
think there's there was like a little bit of me because like they were like, "Will you skate this? Will you skate this?" And like in the accent all the time, I'm just like, Jesus, if I just like hit this, will they stop bothering me? And I was like, okay, I'm gonna go do this. So that's kind of like a little, no offense to anyone over there, but it was when, like I said, like when you're hungover and beat up, and it's just like, and then we hit it and they stopped bothering us, and then like
That's how it works.
Leave it alone.
we went to
All
the
you gotta do is
next
hit it.
spot.
All you gotta do is hit it.
We went to the next spot, and like it was like, all right, Jeff, you're up. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, just sit back now.
Yeah.
You take. Yeah.
Yeah, so I want to actually talk about like your kind of transition out of skating at the end into other things, but
Yeah.
first, actually we were talking about something earlier, and I thought it was kind of funny, and I thought it'd be cool to mention it. You and Farmer had like a little bit of strange beef there for a second, right?
Yeah. There was a lot of shit talking about me on that end. I think not that I was fully aware of, but there was some tension. I would say.
Mind game days.
Yeah. Mind game days, actually, or maybe before.
Because there was a bit where sometimes like it looked like Farmer would do a trick at a spot, but you would like go back to that spot, like similar to like maybe what happened with Vinny.
Yeah.
On the P rail, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
fast forward a bit, and you were like one up in his tricks, and I think that maybe might have bothered him a little bit.
I think I don't remember specific tricks that I tried to one up of his, but I think, like, to be honest, I was just very influenced by his skating with Dustin Latimer and people like that or something. And I think it came because I was like at the beginning of like formulating my own style or something, or like finding my own way of doing it or something. There was like, I was like jockeying his style a little bit. And I think that's mainly the resentment. He was just like, who the fuck is this kid? You know, similar to like what you're saying earlier or something.
How we felt at times, like when she's been on the other foot or something, right?
Yeah. But we ended up becoming like actually through music later on and through Shadow, like ended up playing music and becoming friends. And like, we're friends now. I mean, I haven't talked to him for a while, but yeah, back in the day, there was some drama,
a little tension,
yeah,
right?
There was some tension. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I thought it'd be funny to touch upon that, because I don't know.
But it's good that you guys connected again.
Yeah,
everything's cool now, right?
I haven't talked to him when I was on a music tour in Minnesota. Like we played Minneapolis maybe not last year, because what am I saying? 2 years ago, and I hit him up, but he wasn't in town at the time. But yeah, we're totally cool. We've been friends. That was like a few years of that, and then we ended up becoming good friends. So yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I just thought it was funny.
No, it is funny when I think about it too. I'm like,
because it's funny.
I probably would have been mad at me too, or something for like jockeying someone's style. But again, it's like this thing of like, and I can relate it to music too. It's like in the era of music that I really love, like in the 60s and 70s, people would imitate other people's style. And like heavily competitive and like influenced by someone else's music, and like oftentimes like stealing it like straight up, and then developing their own style or something. But there's this like competitiveness that is like, I think is like a good thing, in the end. Like I think it makes for good art or good skating, to take like strong influence from people or something. But yeah, that's I
agree, but I also think it's like a level of
flattery.
If like you inspire someone skating to a degree, that's I think that's cool. Yeah,
I think so. Like if I've seen people do that to me, I'm like, oh, happy for them. Or I'm like, oh, that's cool.
That's cool.
I think it depends on what phase of your career you're in, I guess. Because if you're still trying to be like pro and make it and stuff like that, then it could be like threatening, I guess.
Yeah.
But now looking back from like an outsider's eye, like we're all just like chilling the skate. We're not trying to do anything crazy. So it's like if someone tried to imitate a trick that you've done or a style, you're like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, yeah. And we're all adults now too. So it's more like, yo, you inspired that for me to do that or something, Yeah. It's a little more flattering.
Exactly. Like no one, I don't think at this age or at my age, like we would care about something like that or something. It'd be more flattering. But yeah, when you're on a team together or you're filming the same video, it's like, it's competitive, I guess, in some way or something.
But it's healthy.
But I think it's healthy, and I think it makes for good. It can make for good things,
I agree.
So, yeah.
Well, I think it'd be a good time to talk about your transition away from skating, and into what you got into after that. So I guess after the tours, after the pro skate, you just got to a point where you're like, what were you feeling and thinking?
So after, I think basically what had happened is like, it was a lot of years of skating every day, all my friends being skaters, my entire life. Since like I was like 10, I was like throughout middle school, high school, just like every day, 10 hours a day skating. And then like years and years of that. And then like filming all these videos, and it just, at some point, I forget like when this happened or something, but I started, and there were also at the time skating was like, I had expected to make like a lot of money. Like I thought I was just going to survive. As a kid, you think like, oh, I'm going to survive off this for the rest of my life if I'm pro or something. Because when we were kids, like we were talking about, I saw Aaron or people like making a lot of money.
Yeah, for sure.
And like I was like, oh yeah, you can just do that for the rest of your life.
Yeah.
But I think career-wise, like those circumstances, and then also like there was a big part of me that was like, I need to like also just step out of this community to like just learn about myself and try to do other things and like immerse myself in different ways. So yeah, that was like a huge part of it, of why I did that. And because I grew up, my dad's a musician, and I always grew up loving music through that whole time. I was like, well, I'll just try this too, you know, like take a little break or something and try like to kind of like just separate a little bit or like learn about myself. And I think that was good for me, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool.
How old were you when you were doing all that? Like the transition, I guess?
I think we were starting to play music like, oh man, my memory, maybe when I'm 34 now, so maybe when I was 22.
So it's like 12 years of skating all day, every day, pretty much.
Yeah, and I mean like not like joking, like literally like all day, like and every friend is like just
everything.
Like, and then like when we weren't skating, we were just watching a skate video, and then wake up, watch another skate video, then go back. It was like just all the time, just completely obsessed with it. But yeah, I think when we started playing music, I was actually playing with like, there were a few other musicians who were also into music. Like remember Ollie Short?
That's
and
right.
And he was always like, he was kind of getting into it. And Jeff Stockwell was playing at the time. And there were other musicians who were like, I don't know if they wanted to pursue careers in it, but they were obsessed with music and like playing music. So I kind of started playing with music with skaters too in the community, and then like kind of made the more transition outside of meeting more musicians not related to skating and stuff. But yeah,
was it like when you made like the kind of transition, was like a conscious decision, like I'm going to separate it? Was it more like natural, just you're playing more music and you're doing less skating?
I think it was like just natural. I wasn't like oh, now I'm just gonna like stop skating and have a music career or something. I was just it was just like naturally flowed into that. And like I said, there was like a 3 or 4 year period where I was playing music a lot and skating and filming too or something. And then at some point I was like, I wanted to take music more seriously and try to like pursue more of a career in it and stuff. But yeah.
I mean, that's a tough thing too. Like you went from one thing that's pretty tough to get a career into another thing that's pretty tough to get a career into.
Yeah, that's true, right?
Story of my life.
Yeah.
Like my mom was always just like, because my brother's a lawyer now, and he was a skater and musician. He's a drummer too. But it was always like, the things that I chose and that I love to do are obviously just harder to make a career out of or something, you know? But I was like, I'm not going to spend my life like doing something I don't want to do or something.
Yeah, you got to do what makes you happy, at least.
Yeah, I was like, it's worth it. And yeah, but it's a grind. It's a hustle. Even in music, similar to skating, it's like, you know, it's a similar mentality, I think. So yeah, I chose hard things to do, I guess.
I like the comparison of skating and music together. They're very similar, especially like touring and stuff like that. Like there's a lot of similarities in that way too. But it's interesting to see after you become a pro skater to go to music. Yeah. Like tour is different. You know, like you're still hanging out with people, but like instead of like friends you skate with, they're just like you're practicing music together. Yeah. And all that stuff. So it's interesting to see the transition. I feel like it's somewhat an easy transition for a skater to do. And that's why a lot of it's happened.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's actually a good point. Like how the distinction between like a skate tour and a music tour.
Oh yeah.
It's way
different, right? I never done the music tour, but I know, I could tell, I can imagine.
It's different, yeah.
What was your experience like for that transition of like kind of going on a tour where you're like hungover and then you have to skate a big challenge the next day and then you go into music and it's way different.
It makes music honestly look so easy, I would say. Like literally, because I remember the skating tours, just the aspect of like literally physical pain.
Physical aspect.
That's just such a big one. Like, and then having to perform all day physically, and being like just an athlete. Like it takes so much maintenance. Not that music doesn't, but it's so much easier to just sit in a van and then get out of the van and go to sound check and plug in your instrument and then sit around and then play a show. Like it's less taxing on your body.
Yeah, it's less taxing.
Think, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Whereas skating, it's like if you're not in good shape or you're not taking care of yourself on tour, like seriously taking care of yourself, you're like it's a lot.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes I don't know how I put my body through a lot. I think on those tours, those skating tours. And I guess you can do that when you're young. But yeah, so in that way, music's a little chiller, I would say,
Yeah.
like not dealing with that aspect of physical pain, and the show is for like a set is 30 or 40 minutes and it's over. But our skate day is like 12 hours or like not 12 hours, but you know, could be.
No,
Yeah.
dude,
Could be all day.
there were days in Russia. I remember
Yeah.
we would start the day skating spot to spot, like
Yeah.
you know, and that after we hit all the spots, it'd be like 10 hours skating and
Yeah.
then skating to all the spots and then skating at the spots, and there's a big distinction between that and then also maybe hungover. And that's the difference
Yeah.
between being like hungover and being like, oh my God, I'm hungover. What time is it? Noon. What time do we got to play? At 10 p.m. All right, we'll get through this. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
right.
It's, yeah.
For sure.
And then
But-
what do you do all day when you're waiting to go play a show at night? Just
When
hanging
we-
out, right?
Just hanging out mostly.
That's
Although
so
I will
easy.
say on some of the tour, like I play in this band Drug Dealer, and everyone is a skateboarder. Not everyone in the band, but most of the people. So it'd be like sound check and then just like leave the venue and go skating for those three or 4 hours, and then like come directly from the skate spot to the show and play.
That's
which
pretty
is
cool.
fun, but not like
It's leisurely skating.
dangerous.
Not,
Yeah, just like
Chill
very
shit.
relaxed skating, like finding some ledges or like just cruising around whatever town we were in.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't be like, all right, we got 3 hours, we need to hit a drop rail right now, or like film.
Get the cameras ready.
Yeah.
Tell everyone we're coming to the spot.
Yeah, but so that's fun to be able to do that, to combine them. Like skating and music on tour is
Yeah.
really fun, actually.
That is pretty cool.
Yeah.
So you're in a band with a bunch of skateboarders.
There are a bunch of skateboarders there, so I'm the only rollerblader. So it's different, obviously, than
Yeah.
being on tour with, than hanging out with your buddies and blading.
Yeah. So what's it like then? Like, you guys, how did you even get started with that? Because I also heard recently that maybe they didn't know you rollerbladed at first. Is that true?
Yeah, they weren't aware. Like, there's like such a big skateboarding community in LA, and like in that band, there's a lot of skateboarders, and I wasn't fully. I didn't say to what extent I really skated. They knew I skated, I think, but they didn't know like about the videos.
They were pro
when
and stuff.
when they saw
Like,
when they saw like like I think Mike, the guy who started Drug Dealer, and it's his group, I was like, these guys were gonna like get into like trying to get me to go out with them and skate, or like bring my skates to the skate park and skate with them. So yeah,
Yeah, like
and it's just fun. It's a funny situation, but yeah.
no, I can totally say that. Even just when I started to dabble in music, I was definitely like sensitive. Like I was sensitive even at the skate park to criticism of rollerblading or whatever it is that I did, and just maybe like, I just want these people to look at me for my music and maybe not even go
Deal
there.
with that aspect of having to fight with someone or like become enemies or something.
Because did you experience anything like that when you maybe first started playing music before Drug Dealer? Like any weird vibes like that?
Not really as much, but I think growing up and just being a blader, you're always dealing with that level of hate. And same with rollerbladers hating skateboarders too. You end up like hating each other,
You just get used to it.
You just get used to it. And it's like, I honestly just didn't want that as a part of I was like, I'm just like,
I've dealt with that for so long.
Yeah, there's like, I'm not interested in dealing with those parts, like,
people, making jokes about fruit booting doesn't really go far, especially with like the homophobic connotations with it, and the movement in the LGBTQIA plus community. People aren't.
What did you say the other day about like you and Miguel, and people like propping you guys down or something like that at a skate park, and you're like, is it over?
No, I went to skate park with. Do you know Joe Atkinson's at all?
Yeah, I've met him.
And Miguel Camina.
Yeah.
They just ripped balls, and we were at a skate park, and it was like packed with OG skateboarders, really young skateboarders, and some OG BMXers, and nothing but love. And just thought like, maybe this is not temporary, because I felt that for a while, like the love, but maybe this is going to be how it will be. That'd be cool.
That'd be great. I mean, I think people, when you get to our age, it's like, I don't feel like, I wouldn't feel intimidated by any skateboarder anyways, I feel confident in my skating enough to like, and I don't care, So I think that helps, not caring or not being like, oh, these people don't like me.
Don't take it to heart.
Yeah, just like, how could you care at this point about like something like that? You know, so that makes it easier for me to navigate or be around like a lot of skateboarders or something. Just the fact that I literally don't want their approval at all. Like, or at this point in my life.
Yeah.
I did at one time, probably. Or there's that whole dynamic, but yeah, it's so different.
Yeah.
Now.
For sure. It's like you want like some approval at some point, just because at least in like when we were younger skaters, maybe because there was so much hate.
Yeah,
it's like, you know, come on, just, you know, maybe not like all skateboarders, but
skateboarders started making so much money.
Sure.
So I think that's really like a huge part of it.
Yeah.
It's like you see these people, you're just as good as these people doing the same thing, giving your whole life to this, but the culture's moving towards just like they are like, if someone in my position or whatever would have maybe made a lot more money, you know, in skateboarding than I did, or so. So there's that resentment too. It's like, it's like, you get to capitalize off this, like in a financial way or something, you know?
Yeah. Like sometimes, like not all, but like there's a lot of big bucks, a big industry in skateboarding.
Yeah, it's way more mainstream and more involved in like in mainstream culture. So it's frustrating. Even to this day, it's kind of frustrating. Yeah, I think. But
no, I mean, it is. It's because you can't, like, especially here in Southern California doing music. Like, you know, it's like it's like everywhere in Southern California culture. So
it's huge out here.
Yeah.
Yeah. But if they could just give some of that money, spread some.
You could just like
get some of it.
Actually, give us some. Like, we wouldn't mind a donation. We're not above that.
Yeah. Like child support. Like every skateboarder should get a little percentage to a pro skater of some sort. Can we make that happen? Is that possible?
Yeah.
Is that how we're going to get money back?
Happen.
You can make that happen.
Yeah. Just give me a little time.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. But you know, it's like if you're sponsored by Nike or Converse, they're multi-million-dollar corporate companies, then you know that's different. But I think, you know, it's cool to see lately in culture, I feel like because of all these movements that there's a lot of crossover in terms of those boundaries, you know, of like not having to be so like exclusive and people basing their identity off like, oh, I'm a skateboarder, I can't hang out with a blader, or I can't hang out with a biker, or whatever. Like we're moving towards more just accepting people and like being open-minded, which I think will help blading, or is helping blading a lot right now, from what I can see.
I think so
like,
too.
From an outside perspective.
Yeah, that's what it seems. That seems to be a big part of it.
I think so too. Everyone's more mature, more open.
Yeah, you get more welcome, and you're just like, fucking.
We're past that.
Yeah.
In a bit, I want to open up for questions, but I do want to talk a little bit about Drug Dealer too, and maybe some other projects that you're working on. But before that, I think we have a quick clip for our guests watching right now of Drug Dealer. It's a 60-second clip that we pulled off of your YouTube.
You sure? Yeah.
So we are going
just to check them out. Let people know where they could check you out too first before we.
On online.
Yeah.
Oh, on Instagram, you can follow me at Ben_Schwab_.
And for
the band?
At Drug Dealer.
And for Drug Dealer, the Instagram handle name, I think, is just Drug Dealer for that project.
Yeah. You got the Instagram handle Drug Dealer? It wasn't taken?
It's not me.
I'm saying it wasn't taken already?
It probably was taken, but I don't know the story behind it. But you know how you can buy...
Yeah, you can buy somebody.
On Instagram.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. The Drug Dealer Instagram got hacked a lot. Is always getting hacked.
So how does that work? Like, you could, like, if you have the name and someone else buys it, like, you get kicked off the name?
No, you just got to reach out to somebody.
Yeah,
whoever has it, just message them and be like, hey, I want your name. How much is it going to cost me? And then it's like it's not an official thing. It's just like,
that's cool.
Between two people. It's like if you have a nice car, I'm like, oh, nice car. Can I buy it from you? Like, that's kind of how it works.
The next social media that starts, I should get every cool name.
Yeah, exactly.
Selling names.
Same thing like websites and stuff like that.
Be selling names.
But let's see if this works. I'm going to try to play a clip from Drug Dealer.
We're back?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So that was your band Drug Dealer.
Yeah. Oh, that's a band that. So it's a band
yeah.
that's Mike Collins
Mhm.
started, and I joined just as a guitar player, sort of collaborative songwriter sometimes. And it's a group of like, I think I always forget. It's kind of a rolling group, but there's seven or eight of us.
Oh, that many then.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little like community of musicians that all hang out, and a lot of them are in the skateboarding kind of scene.
Mhm.
And then I'm the blader in that group.
See, I feel when I first heard that the band Drug Dealer,
Yeah.
that it was very unique, and not many contemporary bands are making that style of music now.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's very connected to skate, like music that skaters like, I guess, or something, or just like skate culture in general, I think, you know. And a lot of it's like, you know, inspired by like classic songwriting, classic 70s, 60s, almost like a different type of mentality in music or writing than maybe as modern culture or something.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's not like the Hesh direction at all.
The what?
It's not like a Hesh thing.
Oh, no.
It's like super musical and good, and it's actually like when I was hearing it, I heard like, you know, I was even like feeling like, oh, these are like kind of Beatles, Mama Papa's influence, like different things like that.
Harmonies, lots of vocal stuff, like melodic, like Beatles, Todd Rundgren inspired music. There's kind of this whole wave of people out here in LA that just love that type of music, like Laurel Canyon scene from the 70s and all that stuff. It's like it's still out here in LA, and so I think Drug Dealer's just like a piece of that kind of like. Not that it's just that. I mean, it has like its own approach or something, but it's just very in that world or something. Yeah.
Still.
Do you ever like make a song where you're like, this would be sick for a skate video, and you want to like film a skate edit to that song?
I should. I've made songs for other people's sections. Like one time I made a song for Eric Bailey's section, and
what section was that?
It was in a Vala video. I did a few songs for Bailey, Brandon Smith.
Oh, did you do Brandon Smith and Vala? One of the Vala videos?
Yeah, but I forget what number it was.
I forget too, but I remember that. I think Yvonne said that or something. Like hard makes you want to skate, or like this would be cool to just skate to, you know? Something that I would like to hear in a skate video, you know?
Exactly. Yeah. No. That I've always thought about that actually. Like if you knew if you were filming a skate section and you knew you could make the music to it, you'd probably like skate to your own song in your head or something. You would like make both of them.
Faced around it, yeah, totally.
But that's like such a thing to do or something.
Yeah,
I've thought about that.
I know Anthony Marchione kind of does something like that.
Does he?
Yeah.
Well, he makes music for skate videos, and Bina coordinated with him to specifically make the soundtrack for his entire video. So they got together and like scored something for the skate video.
Yeah, I think the last 2 or 3 Bina projects, it's been like all original stuff. From like in Blader music or something like that.
Super cool to have that done with Bladers too, you know? If you're gonna have the music done, just keep it in the family, you know?
That's and it's cheaper than getting rights and stuff to But
so I guess that was a lot of solo stuff. So like, do you still work doing solo all that?
Yeah, so I have I'm doing a lot of things like with that involve music. But some of the main things is like, I started a few years ago, started playing this band Drug Dealer, and I actually have a new project that I'm about to release. I think it's probably going to be summer or in fall. That's called Sylvie, and it's like my own project that kind of features a lot of like people in this community that I'm talking about, really talented musicians and friends of mine who are like collaborating on the record and stuff. But it's this brand new project that I'm like very, very stoked about. It's like it's not out yet, and it's coming out soon. So that's I've been spending most of my time like with that project, and then doing Drug Dealer, and then I played in another band, Golden Days, which has been around for a while, and then I'm doing like some movie score stuff and just trying to stay busy, doing like a variety of things.
That's dope.
But yeah.
Is your new project a solo project?
It's I started it and I like recorded the whole thing in my studio that I built at my house, I have like a home studio, but it features other musicians and singers. So it's like, it's my project, but it's very collaborative. It's actually similar to Drug Dealer in that way, or in skating in the same way, where you have like a lot of friends working on the same thing together, you know? I mean, because in music nowadays, it's a little bit, I think more, maybe less, in my opinion, less centered around collaboration, like big groups of people, community bands. Bands are kind of fading out of it. It's more just like individualistic, one person type of deal. And I love like that community and collaboration, that aspect that's in skating, that's in a lot of older music. And so I've tried to kind of create that, like put that on my record. So there's a lot of people on it. Even my dad, who's a musician, plays on it and sings on it.
You finished recording it?
Yeah, it's all finished recording. Right?
Oh, that's dope.
Recording it, but it's like it's very inclusive. Like here's all of my people, like my whole like.
Sounds like it was fun to make.
Very fun, extremely fun. Like one of the most fun projects for that reason, because you can feed off that, like working with people. You know.
And it's dope that you had your dad on it.
Yeah,
that's super cool.
Yeah. I'm trying to collaborate with him more. He's a great songwriter from this. He had a group out here in LA in the 70s. And we're very close, like intertwined musically. He taught me a lot of things and stuff about music. So yeah, it's funny. I'm trying to work with him more, or like he's a really good songwriter. So we'll trade ideas over the phone and stuff. And like I told him, like for the next Sylvie record, you got to we'll write some songs together. You know, I wrote this one song on the record for him to sing. But on the next one, I want to work with him more. So it's like, to me, it's like I get to work
together. Yeah,
it's like those kinds of projects are very like spiritually and emotionally fulfilling, because you're literally working with your family or friends on a project. And
the whole bonding experience.
Exactly. And so the idea of like capitalism and like having to like be, you know, you're like kind of protected from that stuff in a way, because it's really about the experience of like working with all your friends and like your love of music together. It's very extremely fun to do. Yeah.
That's dope. We're going to open it up for questions in just a second, but before I do that, I want to shout out our sponsor, Blank by Rollerblade. Please follow us on all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, iTunes, and we have a Patreon if you like. And we're going to open up for questions soon. But first, Ben.
Yes.
I want to ask you, because your whole life is music, and this Corona year has been absolutely nuts.
Crazy.
I know it's been hard on a lot of my musician friends. Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel? Do you think things get better? Where do you think it goes?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's been a hard time for musicians. Like there's not a lot of work. There's no shows, no tours. But I think we're finding creative ways to still engage with each other. And like, I know for me, like I have friends over a lot, and I'll have fires and then just have people come play, and we'll play like just like cover songs all night, or we'll play Bob Dylan songs or whatever, like just keep the energy going, because it is such a hard time where everything's been cut off. And I think, you just like, I don't know, have to find creative ways to keep that energy going. So I'm trying to be positive, but with that said, it has been, as for so many other people, such a hard time, like mentally, because of the pandemic that we're in. Yeah.
I mean, it seems like that there is a light at the end of the tunnel, though. It seems like, with the vaccine and everything. And I think things, when they do, like my personal opinion is, I think when things do come back, like shows, like even indoor dining and all that stuff, when it's people are going to go like twice as much, I think, because there's like this repressed feeling to like, please.
Everybody needs to get out finally, do something.
Yeah. I feel like the musicians need to be like practicing the most right now. Because it's like when it gets opened up, like everyone's just gonna want to be out. That's what I'm feeling about it.
I've been thinking about that. It's gonna be overload. Like
that's what I think too.
It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, I believe
the
that.
amount of people that are gonna want to like be together
Yeah.
and see each other and play music, or like it's just gonna be interesting to
It's
see.
gonna be tons of shows and like tons of.
Good, I hope so.
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
very
I hope so.
positive, very
Yeah.
good.
We
I
all
can't
want to go to
wait.
shows, no matter
I
who
know.
you are. You want to go to a show. You want to see your favorite band play.
Yeah.
You
Or
know?
go out skating and filming like without worrying about wearing a mask and,
Right.
and all these things.
And there's some places where skate parks are still closed too because of COVID, which is crazy. But yeah, it's still a thing. So we'll open up eventually. We'll do all the shows, get all the shows going and everything like that. Get you guys back in business. And if you want to maybe use some of Ben's music or maybe some of his band's music in a skate video for a VOD, let her know. You know, keep the money in the family right there. You know.
Yeah, keep the business all in the family.
There you go. Do you want to open up for questions?
Yes,
Should we start with the super
open up
chats?
for questions, but do you want to go to the super chats?
Yeah, I'll do the super chats. So we try to throw them all on the screen, but if it's a really long time ago, which some of these are, I can't go back that far, so don't take it personally. But I want to kick off the super chats with Mir Mortal, some Kiwi dollars for you. Zach Bujaza, Plastic Mag, big shout out to Plastic Mag. It's a big, maybe a big donation.
100 ruble.
100 ruble. Ben and Billy, let's drink some vodka.
That's a Boris.
Oh wow. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Shout out Boris.
Shout out to Boris.
Barrett Cantor.
Garrett. That's my boy.
He says, "Crap DZ versus Snatchy Waters in a game of skate for this for the spiciest bolognese. Who wins?" What the hell is that?
Dude, it's just a bunch of inside shit. That's an old friend, Garrett. He's talking about just Snatchy Waters. I don't even know what he said.
What's
but
it with Snatchy
For the
Waters?
spiciest bolognese.
Byron Snatchy Waters. He was like an amazing skater back in Santa Monica. But I had him Garrett's a very close friend of Lee Martin's and mine and my brother's, and he's just like fucking around. He's just yeah.
Just giving you a good laugh on the show.
Yeah.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We got another super chat from D-Rock Mufasa. I love that name. That's a good one. Alex Endes gave it a fist bump emoji. We have Aaron Schultz. Says, "Gotta run. Glad y'all got another Midwest Ripper on the podcast." Hell yeah. I think it's from the Midwest as well. Older Blading says, "Great production value in this episode, boys. Love it." Oh, thank you. Zachary Lones.
Lones. Zach Lones.
That's all you boys.
Also,
You're right.
These are like a lot of old Ohio friends of mine.
Well, Zachary says, "How did the Ohio Bladers and terrain influence your skating approach as a pro? And let's chill at Bill's later, Ben."
That Let's Chill Bills is a local video from Ohio. See, these are all like very deep inside references. But
So how's the Ohio terrain and bladers influence your skating?
like big time. I think when you grow up in Ohio and you're cut off from a lot of like the things I'm talking about, the West Coast culture and stuff, and there's like this mentality for me and a lot of my friends. It's just like, I just like there's like a very hard work ethic in those places. I think with skating and just like a lot of like, even like the spots themselves, like in Ohio, if you go out there and skate, there's cracks before every rail. A lot of rails are a lot higher. It's just like weird little things like that you grow up with, and you kind of get used to skating in these like kind of just not perfect situations or rougher environments. And I think like the way we skated back in the OSS days with all my friends like Zach and all them and Omar and all them, it's kind of like it's just a little bit, I don't want to say more rugged than California, but it's a little bit more like gritty
rugged,
or something.
I think it is more rugged. California spots are generally pretty perfect.
Yeah,
generally.
Yeah. I guess I'm not insulting anyone by saying that. That's just kind of how it is. And and New York's probably got like similar things like that.
There's
So
some
where
good
like,
perfect spots, but there are some older ones. But
those influence your skating a lot, I feel like, right? It's
totally.
Like,
But specifically, like the Midwest is known for like the bigger hills, bigger.
cracks.
New
rocks,
York's not known for big hills. It's very flat. So like, I think you guys did have it more rugged, some bigger rails and some tougher terrain. And it's Ohio's a blue collar state in general.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
could be some blue collar blading out there for sure.
Blue collar blading, yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Cool. Dmitry Pukarev says, Love you, Ben. Here's a beer. Remember skating with you and Winston in San Clemente.
Oh yeah. Cheers.
Olderblading again. Once again, thank you for the super chat, Olderblading. Says, Ben, one day I logged into my personal Instagram and it said you followed me. We've never met, but thanks. Follow at Olderblading.
Oh. Who is it?
I don't know, Olderblading. It says the Instagram name is at Olderblading, so it says you gave him a follow.
Cheers.
Probably struck your interest.
Yeah.
Doing something right over there, Olderblading. And we have another super chat from Ben Magaziner.
Oh, that's my boy.
It's a Jam Dude.
Jeez. It's Jam Dude.
Oh, Jam. Is that what the H is doing there?
Yeah. Magaziner. He's skating really good, actually, right now. I've been, I guess he's watching. I've been seeing all your clips.
Jars in the chat.
What you, Jar Chicken, too.
Yeah, Jar Chicken. You onto the Jar Chicken?
Yeah.
You onto the Jar Chicken? Have you eaten Jar Chicken?
Funniest videos. No, but he's made me cooked me a lot of
jar type things.
Jar type. He's yeah, great. But yeah, I see you, Ben Magazine. I see what you're doing.
Yeah, there you go.
And I'm coming to Portland soon. Hopefully to visit.
There you go. Yeah, Ben, I'm looking for you to come back to like Philly or something like that, so we can skate again too. We have another super chat from Lines Den Media. It says, love the music talent, Ben. Going to be looking for scoring on our short film session with heavy blading footprint. Let's connect. So there you go. Someone already wants to use your music for their project.
Just hit me up.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hit him up.
Dope.
Hit him up. Did you have any questions, Billy?
Yeah. Got some questions over here. One from Hood Panda.
Hood Panda.
Hood Panda says, who is your favorite skater out of Ohio other than yourself?
I think my brother at an early age, I looked up to him. He taught me a lot of things. So my brother, and then obviously Omar. Omar was influenced a lot. And I saw him from an early age working very hard at skate. Like he was very he had these practice rails and he would just do 30 true soyals in a row. And he was just very and so stylish and came out with that Midwest style that it was very influential. So I'd say my brother or Omar.
Omar would really just do trick after trick,
yeah, he would perfect it. He was a perfectionist type skater. Maybe a lot of people don't know that because they just see the sections and stuff. But at least in the early days, yeah, he was very committed to that. And but yeah, so
it's dope.
That's pretty cool to hear, a little inside story about people like that, how they train, quote unquote, train to get their tricks done.
Because his sections maybe don't see, it's so loose and so rugged type of skating, so you maybe don't see that side or something. But yeah,
makes sense though. Any with someone with that style, that it would take a lot of work to be meticulous.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
Shout out Hood Panda for that question. We have one from Plastic Mag. Shout out Boris Gasner. Craziest Russian story, parentheses, maybe the one with the boat.
What's the boat? Do you remember? Because we were there together. My craziest Russian story is getting sick from the amount of vodka that they would make us drink. Because every time someone would do something, I'd be like, you just land like a soul grind on a ledge, and then everyone would be like, shut up.
We had a trip and we stayed up all night, and then we went out in the morning and there was a river right by, and there was some boat. We went on the boat and then threw some chairs off the boat. I don't know. It was ridiculous.
Off the boat.
It probably wasn't a smart idea to do that in Russia. Probably some KGB guy's boat. So
yeah. So my answer would be, you tell me what the craziest thing.
Multitasking now.
Yeah, it was just so ridiculous that I did that. It was just
probably the only person to do that.
Flamenco Spanish style guitar. And I just tried to hit the rail. But we were just clowning. We were just joking. I mean, I wasn't thinking I'm going to start.
I'm just going to rip it right here. Yeah. It was just
yeah, but that was fun.
Ryan Saylor says, favorite city to skate in the U.S. and then in the world?
Favorite city to skate?
In the U.S. and then world.
Probably favorite city would be, I would say Orange County, actually, after all this talk. Had some of the greatest times of skating down there. And then in the world, I would say Spain, maybe just because of all the amenities that come with like being in Barcelona and the beach. And
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember being on tour there. It was just like
incredible.
so nice to be, and obviously it's like a famous place to skate.
Yeah.
But being able to skate and then just like walk on the beach and have all these, and it's just so beautiful out there, and there's people are just very sweet
vibey,
and it's very vibey, and the culture is,
I don't know.
they'd probably become my friends. No, yeah, I changed my mind. I actually rather hang out with 100 duck-sized horses.
And make them
that
your
sounds very
friends.
sweet. Yeah, and just make them create a little family.
That's true. 'cause
Thanks for the crazy.
The only scary thing about horses, the only scary thing about horses is that they'll just like kick you or trample you. But if they're tiny, then I can do nothing.
If they're little baby horses, I think that'd be pretty cool. I could handle that.
Okay, let's see. Ryan Benner says, Ben,
Ryan Benner.
do you remember when we all tried to sleep in the car in Louisville after skating the park and you tried to 180 the massive set by the river?
Oh, yeah. Oh, God. Just like, yes, I do. Good. Yep. Thanks for reminding me. Those were obviously in the days of like, just trying really hard to get clips in. Like,
Did you 180 that set?
I don't think I landed it.
You tried it though? That set is massive.
I tried it. I can't even remember clearly. Like, I more remember gapping the Ohio Surf and Skate set. I don't know if you guys ever saw that gap. That was like a famous gap. But the Louisville set, maybe I tried it. If he's saying I tried it, I tried it.
You don't remember?
I don't.
Like
There's certain things I don't
big.
remember like that, you know? I
mean,
guess
10
I
hours
did.
a day, 7 days a week for
I know. I
years,
also tried a lot of things. So, like, but I don't think I landed it. I'd probably remember it if sections of like Ohio skaters that I know really well from back in the day, and he was one of them. So yeah.
Zach Pujaza says, 180'd it, didn't land it.
Yeah, didn't land it.
Okay, so there you go.
It's confirmation.
I think we have one more question here. We'll do one super chat. One more super chat from Mere Mortal, who asks, "What's your favorite basic grind that you do for fun?"
Basic grind that I do for fun?
Yeah.
I think I always liked doing backslides a lot, and soyals, obviously. I was like, went through a phase where I would just, I had entire sections where like 3/4 of the section was just soyal rail after next one, just like when I was little.
That was a big
with,
favorite, yeah.
That was like what because Dustin Latimer and Coup d'etat, I think, came out, and he came out with that, like he was doing these, I just remember like doing these just soyals constantly back in the day. I had sections where the whole thing would just be soyals. So I would say that, or I always like backslides and Solomons.
That's a good
The feeling of a backslide, specifically in a pair of Solomons, was like very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Backslides and Solomons are, it's a good feeling. It's a good boot trick.
It's an old feeling, like an old school feeling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good one.
Well, shoot, Ben. It's been really good having you on, and thank you
guys
for taking the
This has
time.
been awesome.
Of course. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Do you have any last words or bits of advice or things to part behind for you?
Well, thank you for having me, and thanks for all the shout outs to all my old friends and skaters in Ohio, and shout out to everyone right now in COVID. I hope to see you soon on the other end, and cheers. Thanks for having me.
Hi, this has been awesome. Ben, you're the man.
Shout out Brain Dead Studios.
Shout out Brain Dead Studios.
Shout out to Kyle from Brain Dead.
Yes, for sure. Shout
Thanks
out
for
Kyle.
having us.
Thank you for
Lennox
having
uses
us.
magnificent space.
Shout out Dan.
Shout out Dan for helping us. He's over there somewhere, helping us out today. Everyone check out Brain Dead. Also, Blank by Rollerblade. Thank you for sponsoring this episode. Everyone go check them out. Also, there's a link in the description to their Instagram. Everyone, thank you for watching so much. Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
Think so.
Cheers.
All right, it's a wrap, guys.
Oh, yeah.